Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. The tarot card for today is Strength from the Pocket of Peers Tarot by artist Jamie Sawyer. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook. She is currently taking a social media break this month, but I'm sure she'll be back in December with all kinds of new goodies for you to enjoy. Now, I have to tell you, this card, I was thinking about it when I came to it, and I was like, is there anything that is more appropriate for today? And I think perhaps not, all right? We could have had, like, the Tower or something, but here we have a woman cradling her cat. Now, all over, really, not even just here or in my longer, love and finance or weekly ones that I do. I have talked about this week and the things which are happening. Okay, this is an eclipse week. We have an eclipse coming up in 2 days. This one will be in the sign of Taurus. It is almost a total lunar eclipse, but it is not. Now, next year, we will have a total lunar eclipse in Taurus. More on that in my yearly readings, which I will be doing both general and sun sign. And if you do like the long range, heads up, it will be November 8th, 2022. Now I'm over here like, should I do the real hot button energy of the day first, or should I save it for last? Now, whichever way this goes, I don't think I'm going to get it all in, all right? Because there is a bunch here to cover with what is going on right now. So if you're on TikTok and you want to hear the whole thing, you can go to Instagram or YouTube through my profile. I think the links may be there. Okay, let's start at the top of the day, shall we? All right, it's actually mid-afternoon when this all begins. The moon, which is in Taurus already, where our eclipse will take place, is going to square Saturn. And Saturn really is the party pooper. Aside from being restrictive, it has a way of, like, putting in your face all the time everything you ever did wrong, everything that didn't go right, which doesn't help you feel, exactly on top of the world. But if there's a lesson in there somewhere and you can see what Saturn is trying to tell you, like where you have not lived up to, say, your responsibility, then you can, have the opportunity to do something about it. A mere 15 minutes later, Mars, which is currently at home in Scorpio, is going to oppose Uranus, which is in I'm not budging Taurus. Boy, those two energies don't mix, Uranus and Taurus. Ooh. Okay, so now this is the real hot button energy, and you've probably been feeling it as it's coming in. Obviously, it's a couple days before, a couple days after. It's going to influence your whole full moon thing. Yeah, and we will get back to the card when we cover all of this, because there's a reason that I'm going into great detail here today. Now, with Mars opposed Uranus, I have to go back to, and if you're from the U.S., you know what I'm referring to. January 6th, when what was supposed to just be a protest or whatever turned into an all-out insurrection, and the protesters stormed the Capitol building, and people died. All right, it was a very violent protest, and thankfully it was not worse. But what I'm getting at here is Mars is also ruled by, Aries is also ruled by Mars. All right, so at that time, Mars had been in Aries for 6 months. It's only in Aries and in Scorpio for 6 weeks right now. Okay, its other home sign. Here's the thing: by the time it was leaving, it literally, and I watched it on TV as it played out, it literally was all the aggression, heaped into this time frame that was, as Mars was getting ready to leave in those last couple of hours. And it wasn't until that Mars had moved on into Taurus that the violence and the aggression began to subside and the police began to, take over. So much for that energy. My point is that Mars is very aggressive. Now, how it plays out now in Scorpio is going to be different than how it played out in Aries, but it's right up against the Taurus eclipse. So I would say to expect to see, it's an opposition. So relationships, all kinds of relationships, depends upon how this, hits for you, what might happen. Now I'm going to go on because I'm really taking way too long here. The moon is going to trine Venus, basically saying that things should be good with those with whom you are close. Next up, the moon is going to conjunct Uranus. And, what is, really today? Uranus is coming up twice here so far, right? Okay. Unpredictability. So it's not a routine day. My advice would be to keep your calendar light and not have anything major that you need to commit to. And finally, the moon is going to oppose Mars. Bottom line, our strength card today is about you being able to, tiptoe through the eggshells, so to speak. And it's not about strength, like your physical strength and what you can pick up. It's about your strength and your ability to perhaps bite your tongue and not lash out every time something is rubbing you the wrong way, because it's very easy for this to happen. And, I gotta tell you, patience is a virtue, and that is what is needed here. This is a card of soft control, and I always tell people you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And I know it's not an easy thing to say or do because we are in the full throes of a lunar eclipse coming up, plus with all of this energy that just wants to pick a fight. Do not engage. Bottom line, all right? Do not let them get to you or a person or a situation. Just keep your head down, be kind, be humble, and go along your merry way. I want to thank you all very much for being here. I'll see you here again tomorrow. And as always, have a great day.